Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Midnight Brands coming to you with live prep for Friday, March 3rd, 2023. Going to be another minute here, running way behind this morning. I got up early to see if we'd catch something off the EU kind of PMI information and just a whole myriad of fun tech things. Router decided they needed to do the push update from Eero and a couple other things, so really took a while to get things moving. So going to be just another minute or two and we'll get started. Sadly, we've not been able to get through any of the stuff at all. So also, one other side note here, folks, this morning is sadly our good friend is not going to be able to join us here again today, so it's just going to be us doing the live prep again. So it'll we'll see if it goes faster, slower, whatever. Yesterday actually was about the same time, but there's a lot of interesting things on prep yesterday, so we'll see how it all plays out. And with that, going to go ahead and get started. As always, we will make sure we have the screens flipped and we're in a good spot. And we're going to start off here with the wonderful UVXY. Obviously, we blew through, and I noticed this yesterday in our other screens, we blew through this transfer trend line, which is pretty good. So that obviously can come off. We don't need that anymore at all. Just gonna check over here and look at that. Like we nailed yesterday to the top. Looks like it failed from the look pretty much. Yeah, I mean we hit right on this swing AV WAP there. So yeah, that's what I hate with UVXY. Like it just you don't get a lot of range, and it just kind of kills draw in any zones, so that's okay. We're just gonna mark them up here. So the way that I would see those here is like this: daily cheat, quarterly trend guide. We're not gonna, we might still actually be photo ADRs down there, full other than outlying. Supply and demand kind of formed down there. 470, 460. It's a bit wider. Would actually probably watch this as a zone and then not pay much attention to trend guide reversal. That's the weekly end of week sheet there. And then so up above, I'd probably watch it like this. And if we decide to get stupid, we got way up here, tier 2 cheat. Still kind of going back to the same area in the ABCD pattern, so interesting. Going to take that one already, and we'll just go ahead and mark it up there. So we got the trend guides, you got the trend guide reversal zone, this bigger quarterly trend guide one, 52-week low, Yeah, it combined those into one. I'm not going to do that. I don't like that. We noticed obviously two other zones that the algo didn't grab because there's just no freaking range. That's why I really starting to not like UVXY and may actually just switch to SVXY because it tends to get more room and whatnot on it. So more range, I should say. And this is not the music that I picked. It's not bad, but it's not the music I picked. Okay, so paste that in and get our prep piece here. This is no longer early, it's just prep. UVXY, spy. And today is Friday. But you might be wondering on the side when I do this, if anybody's watching after the fact, is I am pasting, taking screenshots of this stuff and going ahead and pasting them into one of the different rooms and stuff that I'm in. And so just kind of saving that stuff off and publishing it for everybody else to get to see. So. VIX, spy. So, what do we got here on the VIX today? VIX actually has some decent stuff in here today. Gonna make a few adjustments though. I don't really want to see this zone here quite this wide. I'm just gonna take it down to grab trend strength and be kind of really small with it. Gonna get rid of this zone here. It is this week's lows. I'm just not that interested in it. And this zone here I'm actually going to get rid of and just drag this up, catch the bottom out of the 20 and trend guide reversal, and then we'll go ahead and get rid of this transfer trend line because it's just not working. We're at 1947, so photo ADRs are going to slide down. There's not going to be anything there. We'll actually, no, I'm going to get rid of that because this is going to actually expand. And that is how I am going to look at and think about VIX for the day. We'll note one other upside kind of zone, and we'll do this. We're making a little bit of a bigger zone here. And we're going to make it WPP and gap fill here. And there we will call it. The interesting piece here too, somebody else was noticing out, I didn't see it in real time, is not quite a double tap, but pretty damn close to it on the VIX off the daily there. So, and definitely failed off the 30 weeks, so that is a nice little rejection. So with that, I'll mark it up and continue on there. Okay, VIX. Again, we took and combined these zones, trend strength. We just took this one here. Weekly trend guide 3, monthly trend guide. Maybe a $2 move, not unheard of by any means. So, and then this was a manually added zone. And down here we expanded to include gap fill. Okay, so that's VIX, now SPY. We're gonna get pinged. I got pinged over here. Yeah, that's alright. Okay, so SPY. What you got to me, beautiful SPY? Talk to me. Not bad, handful of zones. I clicked on the wrong one, fortunately. Okay, good handful of zones. Couple we can combine, so that's nice. We don't need to have lots and lots. We can get rid of this swing AVWAP altogether. Yes, I could click and drag. I'm not going to do that. Beautiful hold yesterday off of the 200-day. And it looks like the 30-week too, as well as this structure. We did just below it, right? Like just enough to get everybody all excited, and then we rejected off of the swing AVWAP from February 16th yesterday. So really, really interesting, really nice. As you'll notice too, we failed that day VWAP. I'm gonna remove it. It's bi-weekly, just about to the tick, right? 391.03, and that the low yesterday was 393. So not quite to the tick, but still pretty damn close, pretty interesting. Okay, so like I said, ADRs and stuff are going to be moving up. So I'm going to remove this as being a zone and just slide this up here. And grab it like that, as opposed to having two zones there. We're at 399. I would actually take this zone here and drag it to be more like this. And maybe we come back and kind of retest here. Get rid of this div and treat this like that. Especially with you got having the look right there, 401.50 something. So I mean, it's gonna be right in that area there. And would take the annual pivot and adjust it to grab the end of week cheat. And these are really close together, so that's a little bit tough on that one. This to me will probably be more like a div. And then holy gap fill Batman. We got 3 different gap fills in this area here. I don't know that we'll hit those today. I mean, $8 is not unheard of for SPY, of course. And with that, we're actually going to be safe and just note this zone down here. In case, because we do have econ again today. So this morning for econ, it's so Friday, March 3rd, 8:45. We have global services PMI at 10:09 Central. We have ISM services, and then we have Logan talking. Bostic, for some reason, it's showing here Bostic's typing twice at the same time. That's a misprint. Then we have 1 p.m., 12 p.m. Central, Baker Hughes, and then there's, what's his name? Bowman. Sorry, her name, Michelle Bowman, is talking. I could have sworn there's another Fed speaker here today, too. I thought there was 4 total. Logan, Bostic, Bowman, and Barkin. Okay, yeah, so Barkin's at 3:45. Eastern, 2:45 Central, so right before the market closes. Oh, I'm sorry, no, that is after. So, anywho, moving back or continuing along here. I think that's just we'll just carve SPY like that. Really nice again off that. We'll end up removing the transfer trend line this weekend. I'm not going to mess with it right now. Okay, so we carved this up into one zone instead of two. We did keep trend strength reference point. We kept this zone and made it a little bit wider. Trend guide. We made this zone wider to a div and a zone. And for anybody that is coming back and watching, like, the whole point of these is the algorithm is carving all of these. Another thing, like, I'm drawing the stuff here manually now, but everything else has been drawn on the chart automatically. And what I'm doing is using kind of judgment and informed decision to make adjustments and say, like, oh, you know what? I restrict the algo so it can't pick this up, but this is a wider zone. I'm okay accepting this. And so that's the point of going through these extra steps here. Added zone WTG2, triple gap fill. And then this was also an added zone. WTGR2, M-TG1, Tier 1 and weak, Tier 1 OPEX. And there we go, SPY. Okay, gonna flip over to the Qs. Ah, thank you. He did all of the Qs. That's awesome. I don't have to do those. All right, another great example here yesterday. So held that 30-week. Didn't actually even get down to touch the 30-week yesterday there on the Qs. There's the Qs. Oh, damn, that is sick. That is really clean. So we'll adjust this. Obviously, the Qs are gapping up about $2, so the full ADRs are going to be higher, but this will still be a zone here. 30120. So I'd actually treat this as another zone here. I'd actually slide this one down. $296.39, yeah. And we would take and move actually this one up so that we encompass the 50 and the swing AV watt from yesterday, and would treat this as an extra zone down here. The full ADRs are going to continue, we're going to move up unless we change how we're gapping at the moment. So I'm not going to mark that as a blue zone. And actually going to get rid of this as being a div and treat it as well like a full zone. And actually we're going to treat it as two zones. We're going to treat it as the tier 2 end of week cheat. And I'm going to treat this down here like this too. How big is that? So you got 297. That's a $2 range. I guess what you could do actually is treat it like this. And note the fact that you have the day AV watt falling there on the other side, so okay, nice royal flush zone there. That we combined. This we expanded. This was a div and we made it bigger, and then yeah. So that zone there was an added zone that we just carved up. That wasn't there before, so we added zone Tier 1 day cheat, WTG2, gap fill. And then down here we added WTGR1, gap fill, full ADR, move up on gap. Okay, that is the cues. Move on to the indices. So moving on to ES. Really nice continued push there off the EU. He pulled back last night, and then his typical EU time frame kind of dipped just a touch below that session VWAP and push again. Yeah, you can see that here now as we finish drawing, I say. The other thing that I'll note, I'll paste over here on this screen here. Was noting this yesterday in a couple of places. Look at this range box here that we traded in. Like, we were afraid to really close inside of it. Touched it a few times, and then we finally broke out of it. Well, look at what we did yesterday. To the tick. I mean, come on, like, that's awesome. That's really, really interesting. Yep, that's what I thought. That one's toast. Get rid of that. We do have the look coming up here, which is in the 40-30 area. 40-30-ish area. So 4009 area is going to be interesting. 4010, and then this 4030 above that. It's really kind of 4070 with day VWAP there. So just this stuff here off the 60. I am going to move this one here. That. We're definitely going to clean up some zones in here. I like how this has got the overnight structure and stuff here. I don't like it that big actually, and I'm going to drag it down to actually capture trend strength. I don't really want to see it come back and test the overnight lows. And up here, I really don't want to see it at that area. I'm going to just get rid of this div. I'd much rather see this. So that 4009 area we just talked about, to the top of the supply and demand, the 50-day EMA, the tier 1 sheet. I'm going to look here at 4024. Yeah, I see what we were marking off on there. It's just now you're getting into so much crap on the screen is the problem. There is definitely some structure in through there, but you don't want to have a 14-point zone on ES. I mean, that you don't want to scale across 14 frickin' points. So I dumped that real quick. Okay, so above there is what we were saying, that 40-30 area. You've got the 20-day EMA, and then we also have the daily anchored VWAP from February 14th. So I would actually take, and we're going to drag this down here, get rid of this guy. So we have the full and photo ADRs up there, but then we're going to have the 20-day EMA here. And above that you have the you've got the tier 1 sheets. You could break that into two much smaller zones. I mean, it is very big. We're just complaining about a 16-point zone, and this is a lot of evidence in through here. You got some structure through that 40-34 area, photo ADRs, full other than outline, the weekly trend guide, monthly pivot, full ADRs, and those are pretty damn close to each other today, 60 and 70. And then the tier 2 daily cheat. I mean, you just don't, I don't know, you really want to break that up. You could, I guess, in theory, plan for it just like this. And watch price action here at this kind of zone. And see it and just treat this maybe as like a div where you get to the 20-day EMA and that daily anchored VWAP whose price is going to be at, it's right at that level. So, you know, see what, you know, the rest of tech breadth is doing at that level. What's Apple doing? What's Microsoft, Tesla? Are they at key zones as well? And if they are, then you maybe start your short there. But it's looking super strong this morning across the board, really. In fact, let me pull that over here real quick and see what we've got. And there's not a lot of things that are at their end of week sheets yet either, but there's definitely a lot of things already up into their first set of sell zones. Yeah, shit. Oh, ZB is really strong today. Of course, it was really horrible yesterday. And all the volatility products are damn near close to their buy zones, are at 8s. Yeah, I think that's the way to keep that upside zone. Definitely, this to me would be a div if we do decide to come up here. This is the end of week cheat, tier 1 end of week, but you also have that day AVWAP there from February 3rd's highs or year-to-date highs right at this same damn level. So you treat this as the same thing up in that spot. And I wouldn't bother. I mean, there's the algo did pick up this zone up here, but I wouldn't worry much about that one at this point. And I'm just going to double check our downside zones. So you've got that trend guide from yesterday, 3943, which was some structure. Actually, that we don't need that anymore. That was a trend line which we since removed. 3927 was probably this box here, pretty damn close to it. 24. On the downside here, actually, I would take and extend this to grab the tier 2 dotty. So if we do come back down here, div just below yesterday's low, and kind of div to collect that tier 2 daily dotty, tier 2 cheat, however you want to think about naming those. And if we keep pushing, photo ADRs will actually move and come up here, so it'd actually drag that up, and I would drag it up actually to collect into the tier 1 daily cheat. So slip just below the, on the downside there, if we do decide to come below through trend strength reference point, supply and demand, day VWAP, just slip right below, hit the daily dotties, and move on. So watch the top of that zone. And I think that is it. Yeah, right at that swing AV WAP right now. I'm going to add one other one here real quick. Going all the way back here. And you see that lines up with TGR. Okay. Make this a little bit bigger so that when it screenshots, everybody can actually read this. See the zones there. I really kind of like these ES zones for the day. I probably would treat this as a 1 here though. It's not, I'm not going to get too excited. It's inside of all of this range. These two zones down here, to me, in terms of, again, scale, 0, don't take the trade. 1, take it. 2, get excited. And these bottom ones here, to me, are 2s. This is like massive, massive 2. Same thing up here. This is going to be a 2. This is probably going to actually be a 1. And this is a 2. We need to come all the way up here. Your mouse fell asleep on the keyboard there again, Mike. Okay, so we'll take that and we'll carve it up here again. Again, we have this. Sure, we'll mark it. We'll note it. It's gap fill. It is extreme ADR tier, so you got possibility there. You got this guy. This. Okay, so then here we have this trend guide zone. We did note this one down here, which we pulled down to include trend strength, trend guide reversal. Okay, with that we'll move on to NQ, and it is 6:30, so not bad on time. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves though. And look at that yesterday. Oh man, watch for divs. What do we collect? Right there is that div. And we held that brink level that we noted. I love it when prep comes together like that. Doesn't always work like that, but when it does, oh, Butte. And I thought I turned that off. It looks like every time I'm running this, the algo is running too. That's not what I wanted. That's why some of this has been slow. It's alright, it's not the end of the world. Okay, get rid of that. Again, failing swing AV WAPs. Get rid of this daily ink VWAP there. We're definitely toast on it. We're also going to get rid of this one for the time being. We're going to get rid of this as being a div. And we're going to move this up here like this. So we capture, we're going to capture trend guides 200, the daily cheat down here. I'm going to drag this down to include the tier 2 daily cheat. And then down, if we do decide to come down here, this is going to again be Brink like we said yesterday. It included the end of week cheat, the tier 1 OPEX, so really big possibility there. Up here, we're going to have this that would be major. This would also be major. Then we come down here and grab these ones here. It's not ADR. The outside extreme. The trend strength one, I'm gonna drag up actually, and we're gonna shrink it. Really don't want to see a whole lot more than that there. Nice push down yesterday, just dick for tick the extreme, symmetrical extreme there, no pun. So pretty nice off of some of these here. Okay, so for the rest of the upside, let's carve it up. As we noted, we've got this here. We got rid of that gap fill. We did note this here. This is a big royal flush zone which has the look in it, right? Yep, daily VWAP from the 16th. Really big, massive zone there. It'd be nice, actually. This would be amazing too if we were to do this. We could div though, come up here and collect the gap fill. So would be cautious of that a little bit. So you're talking top edge there is 175, lower edge of the next zone is 206. So wouldn't be unheard of to push past the look there, tag that, and then come back and fade. Just have to watch and see how all that plays out there on that one. Just be kind of an inside hold zone. You do have trend strength that is one to watch with 50, the weak link review ups. You got the look from below there, and then we made this a bigger zone if you recall. And then down here we had these two. So at least just talking out loud for myself. 1, 0, 1, 2, 2. This is probably a 1 for a continuation. 2, 1, 2, and then massive 2 if we did something like that. We've already gone 112 points. Again, 500 to nothing on NQ, so we've been barely even trading the average for the last few weeks if you look at it there. So that is NQ. Yes, NQ. Comma NQ. Okay, I'm going to flip over and hit up RTY. See if watch is charged. Nope, not charged yet. Alright, so RTY, definitely got some cleanup in here. Lots of divs, potential zones. Taking out this nice falling wedge here as you think about it. And actually, that's kind of what a lot of these are setting up for, is kind of falling wedges there across the board. I'm going to turn down this music just a touch. I don't know how well that comes through on anything, but we'll turn it down just a touch there. Alright, so RTY was definitely super strong yesterday. Did dick for tick. Actually, no, it hit that trend line we talked about. This 1876 kind of structure trend line stuff that we noted in prep. We don't have this. I mean, it is still there. I'd rather take it off the chart though now. Okay, so we got that one. Over here, I would make sure that we do have this daily anchor VWAP, and it is right there today. It's right actually with the 10 and 20 day EMAs. And so it's really make or break for this one here now. We're either gonna set up into that kind of a structure, or we do, you know, this ABCD down type of pattern, or we are going to actually set up and run for this pattern. We didn't dip below yesterday. We actually held we had a higher low yesterday. That would be massive if we did something like that. I mean, that would put us above even the April highs of last year. And it lines up actually nicely with some of these wicks back in here from last year. 21, I should say. In any event, let's see what all we're going to clean up in here. So I agree with not including trend strength there. I don't like how big this zone is though. I do like how it grabbed the lower edge of the stuff here. I'd rather see it actually not come back and retest the overnight lows. I'd rather see it do a higher low off of, say, like the top edge of this box. Daily anchored VWAP's going to continue to rise there. So I'd rather see it kind of more like that. And then similarly down here, I'd rather see us do a higher low off the quarterly trend guide and then these swing anchored VWAPs there. On this trend guide reversal zone, so obviously we've got the look in here, but I don't want this zone this wide. It is that wide because of the wicks, but I would take it down here so you get the closes and then that lower high wick here. And actually the day VWAP is a tad lower, so it's maybe treat it like this actually. These are two bigger zones. Yep. We are not going to care about this zone way the hell up here. We have other things to worry about ahead of that. Namely, I would worry about this one here. And this would be a div in this area. I would ignore the full and photo ADRs down here and just really pay attention to this. I mean, if we keep pushing the full and photo ADRs, are gonna move up into that trend guide zone. So I'd rather watch them and think about them like that. And with that, I'm going to carve up RTY. Yep, sorry, I was just looking at one other thing there. Okay, so RTY. I'm gonna note it like this, like, because that's really the way that it carved it up initially. As drawn. And so that's how I think I'd take a look and watch out for RTY. While I'm writing, it'll pull up YM and get it to start to load. Okay, so YM's just down here. It was pretty nice there on YM yesterday. It was definitely the strongest of everything. I mean, out of everything, YM was by far the strongest. CRM definitely helped with the way all that played out for sure. So for YM, probably going to watch it like this. February 14th, day VWAP. Yeah, it's high came before everybody else's did. So it's got the look right there at that zone there. How big is this? You've got 33,427. I don't think I would watch it like that. I think I would watch it like this, because you got full ADRs up here. I think we'd take, if I could get the box selected. And drag it like that, and then for this div, it's going to be up here like this. I'll explain that in a minute. I would take this one and actually drag it up to capture all of these wicks. Probably like that. And shrink it up a little bit. To grab like that, so you get this structure through here, and then, yeah, that's how I don't know if I care about the full and photo ADRs there, because if we keep pushing, then they're going to slide up into the trend guide zone, which, do you know, they flipped its guides yesterday. So I would ignore that one, and I would actually watch this zone here. YM looks pretty damn clean given everything else going on. That was the range box it was trading in. I am taking it off. It will be interesting though if we reject that here, so I'm going to leave it on the daily chart because we are testing it from below now. And no to this zone down here, I'm not going to mark that. Okay, YM. So we've got the 50-day EMA, tier 2 cheats. And then here, we actually combined this into a bigger zone. So you have the look in this zone here, actually. With the 20-day EMA, you can see it over here. 33,334. Right in this kind of area zone there. And then below that, we've got MPP, TGR, which we just rolled into to combine. We drag that up so it doesn't include the supply and demand. It's really kind of looking back through these wicks and stuff in through here and capturing those. And these are again hourly bars. So then we below are going to have trend strength. Trend strength, annual pivot point, in fact, and weekly anchor VWAP there. Not really paying much attention to this WPP one, like just we sliced through it. It's there, but it's just not what we're watching. I wouldn't trade that probably. More likely than not, like I'd have to pull up CRM and other things, but I don't think I actually want that one. And so then here we added this zone, Wednesday low, tier 2 day cheat, Tier 1 OPEX sheet. Okay, that is YM. Okay, now we're going to move over and take a look at gold and such. I did not run any of the things over here because, like I mentioned earlier, I had some problems this morning, and so I did not get ahead of being able to run all this stuff. I should say that differently. Didn't pre-analyze any of this stuff here this morning like I normally get the chance to. I had some other issues come up. Okay, so CL 423, we are still on April contract for CL. Yes. Okay, there's the CL contract. And while it loads, I'm going to check on folks out real quick just to make sure they are all getting ready for school and stuff. Be right back, folks. Alright, everybody's up and moving, which is awesome. Oh shit, looks beautiful for today. Actually tried the CL short yesterday and didn't get anything. Really kind of frustrated by that. I'm gonna check one thing here. I don't know that that's not a zone of mine. Gonna get rid of this extra text stuff in here. Anything else? Alright, I'm gonna tell it to rerun just one more time just because it had some extraneous zone in there that's not one of ours. Gonna go ahead and also get rid of this over here. Kind of looking like a nice chart, actually. Okay, so we're actually going to take this and pull it up here. And try to get most of these closes. Not trying to be perfect, not trying to grab them all, just trying to get most of these closes on the upside. That is a little bit wide. That's okay. Terrible. I'm going to pull it down to grab the majority of these closes here and this gap fill. And then below here, first we're going to add a VWAP right here. Yep, that sounds right. 530 and first. do kind of like where that one's drawn. You get a bunch of the structure looking left there. Of course, you do have these div areas here with the swing AV WAPs. That said, actually on this, I think what we'll probably do is let's go ahead and drag it up. To here, and then that way you're starting to watch and pay attention if we do come down this far, you see it, you're paying attention, you're being aware of it. Because I also actually want to note this zone here. If we do come down, so you get the tier 2 daily cheat, and you get the gap fill, and then similar above. Want to do this, so I like how it's grabbed the trend guide reversal zone there. And you've got, I'll pull it up just a little bit to grab that bar from yesterday, I think that is. It's probably where, yeah, we tried over here actually in this area. Yeah, we gave it a shot actually over here in this one. Came in on this candle here, if I remember. Got maybe one off, if even that, and then exited. And then came back over here for maybe like 30 ticks or 40 ticks, so probably about flat yesterday on it. It does look like there's a little bit of a trend line here. Not the greatest. If it gets any better if we come up to this guy, one of these ones here. That's a little bit better, kind of like that there. It lines up nicely with TG. Well, I guess you could potentially throw a VWAP off of this one here. In fact, that's probably better because let's see here. You got one candle below, and then this one. Actually, we're gonna get rid of this one here. Dip below it a few too many times, which actually you'd argue the same thing even on this one here, right? Yeah, it's there, but we're coming off of it way too many times. I think we'll actually just track it like that. I'm not going to bother with some of these bigger zones outside of the full ADRs below, and probably won't mess much with the zones above because you get full ADRs here. You can drag this up actually to capture the NYMEX gap fill there. Treat that as a div, and again, wouldn't worry much. Like this is a tier, this is the cheat for the end of the week, expected move. So that's where I'd stop. It is trying to reject the 50-day though. That's, and I'm sure if there's a weekly in there, you have like an end of week or a weekly VWAP, I should say. Sorry, looking at 3 different things. Okay, so. Yeah, sure, you've got this here. Again, like I said, I don't really like that. This is probably the last zone I'd be watching on the upside. That's definitely a div. We'll mark here in a second. Watch for div. This would be a sick div here, right? Photo ADRs, tier 1 sheet. That'd be pretty sick on that. Trend strength stuff we're at right now. This, like we said, is pretty nice. Below that, you have the photo ADRs, swing AV WAP, tier 1 day cheat. And then below that, you've got this WPP daily anchored VWAP structure. And then it doesn't have anything to wait on here, which we will mark. But we've also watched for this div here. Watch for div. Gap fill, tier 2 day cheat. And then here we're actually going to call out photo ADR, tier 1 day cheat. Okay, that is CL. And when we finish typing, I'm going to go ahead and ask it to load GC. And then go ahead and come over here and paste real quick too. CL. Oof, missed that. Right into the 20-day EMA and just tick for tick on the daily anchored VWAP there. We'll see if that's it on it or not. At the same time, it still looks like the indices are, been moving away from that swing anchored VWAP on the 16th. Hardly been an uptick bar since then. Okay, Goldie, you still thinking? What you doing? I don't have that one linked. My apologies. GC 0423. That's actually not a bad supply and demand. I didn't know that I put that in there. Anywho. Alright, it's definitely some too wide of zones in here to make me happy. This trend guide zone needs to come way the hell up. Don't want to see I don't want to see it that wide. Drag it down to grab the gap fill. This trend strength one is way too damn big. I think I'd carve it up actually different. I know why it carved it up the way it did, and I'd say that it did exactly what it was told. We would carve it up like this. You get the gap fill there, annual pivots, etc., and then here I think I'd actually watch it like this. So overshoot not even pay attention to the trend guide reversal and watch it like that. And then up here, I wanted to have drawn it like this. Obviously, supply and demand zones are magnets. It wants to catch those, but really would have drawn it like this. And then down here, grab the daily cheat, the full ADR at WPP. We still have that weak link or VWAP there, the structure, etc. So that's definitely one we want to watch out on. But it's already marked as a zone, so don't have to do anything special. Above, we have the tier 2 daily cheat. We have a swing anchored VWAP from February 2nd at 2 a.m. We also have the daily anchored VWAP there at that same spot at 1863. Just trying to think about the best way to carve up that there. What are we looking at here price wise? 1866. 3 points. 66. Yeah, that's a little bit more than I think you want to have. We've already traded. Holy crap! I only traded $9 yesterday. Damn. So my tendency would actually be is to see this close below the tier 1 end of week cheat or expected move, and it looks like we may be doing that based upon where it's at right now. I'm not going to come back and try to short this. I would have loved to have caught it up here, but obviously was doing prep and missed, so sucks, but it is what it is. I guess you could treat these as 2 separate. This is going to continue to, no, I'm not going to, we're going to do it like this. Expect the overshoot. Skip this, and then if we do decide to come up here, I'm going to give preference to the tier 2 daily cheat and the structure, or tier 2 end of week cheat, I should say, sorry. Yeah, we're going to treat it like that. We're going to put a daily anchor VWAP over here. And we're going to get rid of this one, actually. Alright, and we will carve that one up, and then we're actually going to do a bonus since we got a couple people up today that are normally part of our group. And I'm going to take a look at Apple and maybe a couple others. We'll have to see how things play out here. Full ADR. The super tight zones yesterday, given just how small the range was, and so this be really interesting if we do test this from above. Do we test TGR from above and continue going? And again, this is the end of week cheat here. Gold was massively oversold for a while, blew through all of these, so it'd be just like Tesla was a while ago, where it blew through all of its weekly expected moves, and I mean, it just started taking out these tier 2 type of things, so be pretty interesting on how that plays out there. Definitely going to be a bigger on watch today. Maybe be bigger on watch than the indices. We'll have to watch and see what they do here. But it's a Friday, and they always get a little bit weird on Fridays. So, okay, that is GC. Paste that and done. Come over here to this room, paste GC, done. Okay, and then I said, hey, why don't we do Apple? I don't think I have Apple loaded up in my output here, though. Caesar did XOY. Let's just throw on AAPL. Okay, nice. Let's see how our zones look over here. I'll probably have to do a couple of day VWAPs. I don't normally just let the algo prep this entirely and don't even look at the stuff. Let my chart tell me where all the stuff, all the things are on it. Held to the frickin' tick yesterday. Ooh, baby. Okay, so we're gonna attach the debut up there. Uh, 17. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's right here. So stopped it yesterday to the tick. Not gonna treat that like that. We're actually gonna take and drag it up to grab the full ADR. And then here. Actually, I take that back. We're gonna, full ADR is 147. We're gapping up $2, so gonna drag this one down here to grab these swing AV WAPs like this. And I'm gonna grab trend guide and pull it up to grab the 200. Yeah. Full ADRs are gonna move given how we're moving. It's really more of a div than anything there, but if we decide to get crazy, then yeah, come down here, grab this, grab the tier 1 and the week cheat, the OPEX cheats. Yep. 145. This is a div, so I think that's how I'll mark up Apple. And like you could take and make that, ignore the 50 and make trend strength really massive, like, but that'd be huge. Like you're talking 145, 25 there probably. You got 29, and if you pull up annual pivot point into it, I mean, that's getting to be pretty big there, and at least in my mind. So. Tier 1 and a week cheat. And then this was an added zone, WTGR2. Tier 1 and a week cheat. So that is our Apple and I'm going to actually stop there, folks. I've got some other things I got to do, so hope everybody has a good one, and we'll catch y'all later in the room and other places. So thanks. Bye now. All right, folks, that is it. I am going to call it there. I've got to get a couple other things ready and lined up and stuff for the day here. So, hope everybody had a good one. Hope these are continuing to prove somewhat fruitful at least. And did see a couple people hop on the stream at least at one point earlier today. So that's positive, and certainly saw some folks in the rooms that were part of have a couple of interactions. So everybody have a great weekend, and we will catch y'all on